Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the easiest cameos to use for beginners to help them deal with your typical rushdown players as well as your zoners. I'll also throw in some tips at the end to show you how to get some high damage with these cameo players. So please keep in mind that this is not an advanced guide by any means. This is for simplicity's sake to help out the beginner players or new players that are coming to Mortal Kombat 1. So firstly, I just want to say Mortal Kombat is unlike any other fighting game, really, due to the fact that this game has a block button. Most 2D fighter games have a mechanic to block by just holding back on your controller. So this in of itself makes Mortal Kombat more of a guessing game at times than other fighting games because you can't move and block at the same time. So with that in mind, there are 3 different ways to block as well. So they're standing, crouching, and now with Mortal Kombat 1, we have the up block mechanic. So this is just another added layer of nuance to Mortal Kombat that makes it a bit more of a guessing game. And if you pick wrong or guess wrong, you'll be punished for it for sure. So at a casual level, you generally have 2 types of players, right? You have rushdown players, and then you have people who want to zone you. So in today's video, I will help you select the cameos that will help you deal with those players the best while being able to stick with the character that you like playing the most. So hopefully this guide helps you out, but without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it. All right, before we go too far and get started, let me just mention 2 things about cameos. There's 2 different types of cameo summons, right? So there's the summon, actually, right, where you strike a pose and your cameo comes out and it delivers a move. And then there are ambush cameos where you could be doing anything, jumping, punching, and your cameo will come through and do its move on its own. So like Sonya's square wave, right? That is a ambush cameo. So those are the 2 types of cameos. Keep that in mind. There's summons where you have to stop what you're doing and let the cameo come in. And then there's ambush cameos. You can be doing whatever, jumping, moving, and your cameo will come out. So keep in mind, those are the 2 types of cameos options that you have in this game. All right, moving on. All right, now that we've talked about the 2 types of cameo moves you can do, ambushes and summons, let's hop into how we deal with zoners with the 2 cameos that I think will work the best, Frost and Sub-Zero. Let me go ahead and show you some examples. I'm going to spam some fireballs with Liu Kang, and I'll show you how Sub-Zero can counter this very easily with his cameo. Okay, let's take a look. So I have Liu Kang set to the AI to spam me with projectiles, low projectiles, mid projectiles, and I'll be Scorpion with the Sub-Zero cameo, and I'm going to show you exactly how you deal with this. I'll block the first projectile or 2, and I'll let Sub-Zero put on his Arctic armor, which will then nullify the rest of his attacks. So let's look at that. As you can see, I got hit with the first one. I had to block it. Now with this Arctic armor on, I can walk straight at Liu Kang, and he can't do anything about it, right? And if he wants to keep that up, I can go for the punish, right? If he wants to get up, push it again, can't do anything about it. Keep in mind, this is an ambush cameo. So I can do this and put this armor on with Sub-Zero at any time. I can be in there. He does have to touch you though. So if you're in the air and you try to do it, it's not gonna work, okay? But it's a good way to combat his projectiles. Get in there with a full punish if they just want to keep spamming. It's a great move. Now let's take a look at Frost and how she deals with zoners. All right, so I have Sindel set to spam me with projectiles low and high from full screen. The difference between Sub-Zero's cameo move and Frost's cameo move is, first, Sub-Zero's was an ambush, so you can be doing anything on screen while he puts the Arctic armor on you. This summon is going to be an actual summon for Frost, and so a lot of summon moves have armor for the first hit. So we may get hit with that projectile by Frost, but she'll eat that damage and she'll be able to put out her freeze and counter and let you get a full combo. So let's take a look. As you can see, I got hit with it, but I didn't get it out in time, right? So if I time it correctly, boom, and I get it out, I get a full 30% combo punish against it, right? And so again, it might not work every single time, but if you can time it right, you'll get that full combo punish, and it works great against zoners. So those are my 2 options for people who just want to sit there and zone you. Both of the ice characters, it makes sense. You can get them with a freeze, or you can get in there with Sub-Zero and start to play your game again. All right, I hope that helps. Let's move on to the next section and look at what we do with rushdown characters. All right, so next we're going to talk about how to deal with rushdown players. So you may have players that you play who are just running you down, running you down, running you down, and have no regard for human life, just pushing you, pushing you, pushing you. Don't stop pushing buttons. And I think there are two really good cameos to deal with that. And one is going to be Sub-Zero, so we got a double entry there, but the other is going to be Serena. They both have summon moves that have armor, so on Wake Up, you can throw these out a lot of times, keep yourself safe, and get those players off of you. So let me show you some examples here. So as you may or actually may not know, every character has an armored move that lets you essentially take a hit of damage and eat through it in order to give yourself some space from a pressing enemy, essentially. So I'll show you exactly what that looks like just for your normal character. So I'm going to have Scorpion knock me down and then immediately go into a combo string to have pressure on Wake Up, and I'm going to use Liu Kang's armored move to just break straight through it. So let's take a look at this. So that was it, right? So Scorpion knocked me down. He's trying to keep the pressure going, and I just armor straight through it and basically take my turn back, essentially. And so what you may not know is that a lot of cameos can do the exact same thing. So if you don't have any meter or you don't have the resources to do that, because those armored moves do take meter, you can use your cameo assist to give you some of that free up space, so you can get back to playing the game the way you want to play it. So let's take a look at what it looks like when you use your cameo. So in order to show you this, I have the Liu Kang AI set to sweep, knock me down, and then as I'm getting up, the Liu Kang AI is going to pressure me and then go straight into a Serena cameo. Keep in mind that you need to know when there's slight gaps in moves in order to armor through them, right? If there is no gap in the move, you're just going to get hit. So take a look and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Boom. You can see I armor straight through that. So let's look again. So that pressure that Liu Kang gave me at first is real. That's real pressure. So I don't try to armor through, right? Because I'll get hit. If I wait, I know that's not real. You can't do that on block. That's not real pressure. So we just armor straight through it. So I hope that makes sense. Let's go ahead and move on to the Serena armor cameo. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the Serena cameo with armor. So again, I want to reiterate, you have to know which strings have gaps in them, okay? Or what moves between your main player and the cameo have gaps in between them if they're not hit confirmed. You don't want to just throw out these armored moves for no reason and waste your meter. Okay, so you got to know when to throw these out. And as you play the game, you'll understand more which moves have gaps. Right now, it might not be apparently obvious, but as you play the game, you'll figure it out. So let's take a look. Boom, armor straight through it. I was too late there. Boom, armor straight through it. So I know that there's a gap between the second and third hit of that Scorpion string, so I go ahead and armor straight through it. All right, let's move on to the next topic. All right, so we talked about cameos that help you with zoners, and we talked about cameos that help you with those rushdown players. Now let's talk about two cameos that can help get you some insane damage, really no matter who you're picking. And those two cameos will be Sonya and Serena. Serena's gonna help you get some insane damage on the ground, and Sonya will help you get some insane damage in the air. It really helps out. So take a look at this and I'll show you exactly what you could get if you pick these two cameos.
All of my own stunts, mess around and hit me, you probably get blown up. I've been hot enough here to throw up the whole sun. Cut a man in half, write my name in his own blood. Everybody dies, you probably gon' never learn from it. Pop them in the sky till they never gon' get a turn from it. Burn stomachs cutting like my blade is immortal. Bitch, open a portal, I slice you till your parts out of order. Your head and your torso, I'll murder your gore, you got a death wish.
All right, I hope this video helped you guys out a ton. In the world of Mortal Kombat 1, there is a lot of changes. So as we get into this, we're all gonna need guides on things like this. So hopefully this helped you. If it did, leave a like on the video. It really does help my channel out a ton. Subscribe if you're not already, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.